Hi guys, welcome to the new edition of this particular YouTube channel, Mr. Diayobet. So in the previous video, we generated fixtures that are expected to end up as halftime over 0.5 goals, and currently these particular games are still on, and the AI actually generated 10 games for us, and out of this particular 10 games we only select 5 that we think should actually end up as halftime over 0.5 goals. So these are the 5 games that we selected, and the games are still currently on. So we are going to get the percentage of probability of the game ending up as halftime over 0.5 goals. So this is the first game, the second game, the third game, the fourth game, and we are currently waiting for the last game, which happens to be under the Iceland League. Alright, so without wasting much of our time, in today's particular video we are going to follow the same process by changing only the date on the prompt. But I want you guys to approach these particular predictions with care, because the outcomes that this particular AI is generating for us is not 100% accurate. The estimated probability of outcome is within 80 to 95%, and even if it is 99%, you are not to be expecting 100% from these particular predictions. So after generating the fixtures and the predictions, you guys can actually select your own from it, and you can share us your booking code in the comment section. So this particular content is focusing more on the tips and not the prompt. And another thing that I want you guys to take note is that tomorrow, for July 1st, 2025, we don't have enough games to play on or to prompt this particular AI to get games for us. So you guys need to be very careful if you are considering some fixtures that this particular system is generating for us. So the first game that we have on this particular list happens to be the match between Manchester City and Al Hilal. So what we are going to do next is that we are going to pick the games that has the games that have the highest probability of outcome, probably starting from the 90%. And if we are unable to select some of these particular games, we are going to look into other bet platforms, but you guys can actually do that from your own end. Alright, now so we've gotten all our 10 games, and we have the key trends supporting all these particular picks, and the number one of it that we have happens to be Manchester City against Al Hilal, halftime over 0.5 goals. So we have another game here, Uzbekistan Pro League, stuff like that, and actually I'm not really familiar with that particular league. And if we are to look into the supporting factors for each of these particular games, we can actually make use of that to consider if these particular games are good for us to look into. So for this particular league, Uzbekistan or something like that, I'm not really familiar with it. And but when it comes to US or maybe Ecuador league, I'm a little bit familiar with them. So we are going to look into these particular games one by one, and we are going to check the probability of outcomes. And considering the supporting factors that we have here, we can see that 100% of first half games streak or something like that. Sha. So first of all, this particular Manchester City, we are going for it as halftime over 0.5 goals, and this particular game too, we are going for it as halftime over 0.5 goals. And this game that has 88%, I'm kind of putting it on hold. Probably we are going to go look into it also. And this particular game, Chicago Fire, that is MLS Next Pro, we are going for this particular games 100% first half goals in last 7 games. So we are going for this particular game. So we've gotten 3 games that are expected to end up as halftime over 0.5 goals, and we are going to look into the remaining games that we have. So for this particular games too, we're supposed to include this match, this particular fixture, and let's check the rest. This particular game also has high probability of outcome. We can also consider it too. And for the last game, 88%, and checking the supporting factors, this is also a good fixture to look into, as halftime over 0.5 goals. Alright, now so let's check for the order allocation by the bookmakers for each of these particular predictions. So for July 1st, most of the games that we have, they are not enough, but let's see, we at least if we can get some of it. So for Manchester City against Al Hilal, we have the odd for the first half over 0.5 goals at 1.21 odd. And let us check for the Ecuador League. Alright, it seems like we don't have this particular game here. Probably maybe the game is extended to maybe July 2. This particular game, let's check West African time. This is BST. Let's check for Wednesday. Alright, so we have the game here Wednesday midnight. So half time over 0.5. The bookies are not providing the odd line for this particular game, so we are going to skip this particular match, but you guys can actually make use of it, probably if you have any other bet platform that is providing the odd line. So let us check the next game. Alright, so we have the Chicago Fire 2, and let us check the odd allocated to it for the first half over 0.5 goals. So we have it at odd of 1.24 odd for this particular game. Alright, so now let us look for another game that has high probability of outcome, and this particular match seems to be won, but let's check if we are going to get these particular fixtures on this particular bet platform. But if not, you guys can make use of your own bet platform. Alright, it seems like we don't have this particular game here, so what we just need to do is just to skip the game. And for the number 10 fixtures too, we don't have it on Sportybet, we have to skip it too. Alright, so let us look into this particular USL League 2 game, and let's see if we are going to get the odd for the first half over 0.5 goals on it. So we have it here, and let's see what we have. Actually, they are not providing the odd for the halftime over 0.5 goals, but we can make use of the goal band option, which happens to be the goal band first half, and it is the same thing as predicting halftime over 0.5 goal. So we have it at odd of 1.22 odd, and so far we've been able to extract 3 games from this particular 10 predictions. And probably maybe if you want to add up to what we've gotten, you can explore other bet platform, but we are limited on this particular platform. So far we've been able to extract 3 games out: Manchester City, Chicago Fires 2, and Ash Varsity, stuff like that. And with these particular 3 games, we are able to accumulate 1.83 odd. So let's check out the outcome and see you guys in the next video. Bye.